Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul
They're gonna run out of cheeseheads soon!
The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It's the man Cloudboy Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports Weekly Wednesday Predictions, where, well, you guessed it, we're doing another week of Weekly Wednesday Predictions. Well, I'll just get right to it. If you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts. Let's get down to business. No teams on bye this week. Normally this is a bye week, but I guess there are no teams on bye, so that's nice. Lots of games going on. So first off, we have Thursday night. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Buffalo Bills. I think I'm starting to see that Buffalo might be the fraudulent team that I was suggesting they were the years before. After having Allen in fantasy for 2 straight years, I slowly realized how overrated he is. That's just how it is. But Buffalo is just regular season material to me. A matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should be a very good one. Tampa Bay, even though I could say that are they good or not good, I'm not necessarily positive on that front. But I think Tampa Bay is winning more games than I thought they would. I thought they weren't going to really win any. And they're doing a little better than I thought. But now they're starting to dip under a little bit. I'll say Buffalo gets the win. I feel like this one's an obvious one, but I'll just say this will be closer than expected. All right, going on to Sunday. A lot of games going on. We got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Rams, it's weird how the Rams, you think that the Rams are going to go down under and they're going to start the rebuild, but Cooper Kupp's back, and then some undrafted wide receiver, Puka Nacua, is having an outstanding season. I mean, I guess the Rams technically aren't going away, but they're still there. But they're facing the overrated Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is so overrated, I don't really know what to think of them. But if I had to pick between these two teams, I'm going to say Dallas wins. That's how I see it. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota with a very impressive win against the 49ers, and Green Bay lost to Denver. As a Packers fan, that really is, this one bites me. But honestly, I don't know really what to expect going on later this season. Packers really need to get their stuff together. But Minnesota's trending upwards, Green Bay's trending downwards, and I feel like if I had to pick the obvious thing, Kirk Cousins he always does good against us, and I feel like he'll continue this, and Minnesota will win. Next up, Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tennessee Titans. Atlanta somehow won a game without playing Bijan Robinson at all, and Tennessee, they just, in my opinion, suck, and they are going to be without Ryan Tannehill. So it's Will Levis or Malik Willis. So hopefully we see both of them, and maybe one of these two guys are actually going to do good enough to give Tennessee a win. I'll say Tennessee wins this one. I don't know why I'm taking them, because I think Atlanta should be better than what they are. It's just their coach is an idiot. I think everyone knows that. Next up, New Orleans Saints at Indianapolis Colts, the two most mid teams in football facing off. I feel like this is just I'm going to have to take the Saints. I don't really know who to pick here. The Colts, I think, Jonathan Taylor decided to come back, and he's actually, Zach Moss is still doing more than Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I don't even think the running back position's a thing anymore. New Orleans Saints, let's go. All right, New England Patriots at Miami Dolphins. Belichick's kryptonite team always struggles against them, but Miami is looking real good. Unfortunately, they had a loss last week again, but it was against the Eagles, so I'm not going to really say much. But I feel like they're going to trend in the good direction. I think Miami will get back on track of the win this week. New York Jets, New York Giants. We got the in-city rivalry. You know, obviously that this matchup only happens about every 4 years, but you know, it's great to see these two teams facing off. I feel like if I got to look between which team is better, obviously the Giants are right now without Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor's been starting the last couple of games. And the Jets obviously have been having Zach Wilson. I feel like the only thing that's going to separate this game is defense, and I think the Jets' defense is better. I think the Giants kind of had some luck. They're kind of go their way, and I feel like the Jets will win this. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So anyways, Jacksonville is getting through barely with some wins. I don't think they have the team that can really push them through the playoffs, but I think that they are going to be like top of their division from the more now on. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they are one of those teams, it's like, they're like the Iowa Hawkeyes of football, relying on defense to literally win games. And that's legit how it is. I kind of feel for Pittsburgh fans that, I mean, they want Canada fired, and I would agree with them. I mean, you got to get an offensive coordinator that can really get your offense to be good, because that's really holding you back. The defense is fantastic, but you never know. Jacksonville Jaguars, I think if I had to pick between these two teams, I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins. I think they're better than what they anticipate. I think Pittsburgh is. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. Philly with a very impressive win. I feel like this is a trap game because of how hard Philly's got their schedule going, but I feel like it's not going to be too much of a problem. I say Philly does beat Washington. Next up, the Houston Texans at the Carolina Panthers. Houston is better than I thought. I mean, Stroud is better than I thought. And then Young, he's not. This is the two rookie quarterbacks going head-to-head. I'm going to say Stroud will get the betterness. I don't know if Carolina is going to win a game this year. I think they will eventually, but I want to be able to. I just want them to. I want Carolina to win a game, but with this team, I don't see it happening. Houston, I think with Stroud's success will continue. All right, going on to 3:00 games. Cleveland Browns at the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously 3:05 because it's in West time. Anyways, Cleveland is playing without Deshaun Watson. Apparently, he's suffering a shoulder injury that pitchers face. As a Brewers fan, I can understand what that feels like, since Brandon Woodruff and Wade Miley and a bunch of others, and Aaron Ashby and a bunch of other people this season had that same injury. So you know what? That's how it is. Shoulder injuries like that, it's going to take a probably long time. So it looks like P.J. Walker is going to get some time. I don't think they'll beat Seattle. I think Seattle is a playoff team. I think they're really good this season. That's how I see it. But, Cleveland, I think, will win games this season because I think they have a good enough defense to do that, but not here. I think Seattle is the better. Next up, Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. That should be interesting. Anyways, Kansas City. Denver got their first win at home in over a year. And Kansas City has Taylor Swift cheering for them every single game. As if us fans don't get annoyed enough with life. But anyways, Kansas City is continuing to really do well. Travis Kelce had an amazing performance last week. I feel like they're going to continue this and defeat the Denver Broncos because Denver has not beaten Kansas City in years. All right. Baltimore Ravens at Arizona Cardinals. I feel like it's the obvious choice to pick the Baltimore Ravens here. Baltimore had one of the best performances last week. They should continue that against the team I'd say is the worst team in football this year, the Cardinals. All right. This will likely be the primetime game for CBS this season. This year. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers with back-to-back losses. Obviously, they were both on the road, but obviously, I want to see them get back on track. Cincinnati is not the team you want to face. Now, I know Cincinnati is having their struggles this season, and that could be a huge concern going into the rest of the season, but I feel like 49ers, they have to get back on track. I feel like 3 straight losses would be a bit of a concern. I'm going to say the 49ers win this game. Sunday Night Football matchup is the Chicago Bears taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. It will likely be Tyson Bagent again, but impressively he got the win against Brian Hoyer and the Raiders. So realistically, was that a win? No. I mean, Foreman is the one that gave him the win. He ran for like 3 touchdowns and he was sitting on my bench in fantasy, so that was unfortunate. But the Chargers are the biggest chokesters in the NFL. But I feel like a game against a team like this, I feel like is a great opportunity for Herbert to shine on prime time. So I'm going to say the Chargers win this game. And then Monday Night Football, I don't know, I guess this matchup was fine before Garoppolo went down, but it looks like if it's Brian Hoyer again, this will easily be a Detroit victory. Hands down. But regardless, I feel like Detroit would win this game anyway after how they played last week. They need a bounce-back win. So anyways, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and we will see you next time.